Today in this video, I'll be teaching you a very important concept of trading, which is generally support and resistance. You could have seen many beginners and even advanced traders use these kind of strategies combined with their own strategies or only trade based on this strategy. This is a very famous strategy. There are different types of support and resistances. If you would have known, the first support and resistance is the normal support and resistance like you have seen here. Like in this, what happens in this normal support and resistance is there is a floor. Market comes, taps to this zone, goes back to the resistance, comes back to the zone, again goes back up. So the place where the market has been, continuously tapping and going up, that region acts as a support zone. You can check it out here as well. The market has come down, gone up, again it has come down, again it has gone up, again it has come down, and again it has given a good uptrend. So this yellow line acts as a strong support region from where traders generally exit or place their long side entries. And the red line, you can see market has gone up here, bounced, come back, again bounced from here, again bounced from here, again bounced from here. So this red line starts acting as a resistance. Traders generally place sell side orders near the resistance. This is a normal support and resistance. The other type of support and resistance is called as the trend line support and resistance. But before learning about the trend line support and resistance, let's check out why do this support and resistance work? What actually makes the support work? What is the psychology behind it? Banks and institutions, they cannot place all of their money, like they invest or trade with big numbers. So they cannot place all of their money at once. So what they do is they use limit orders. Near a zone, they place their limit order. What markets do is, as soon as the money is executed, it goes little up, and the remaining money of the trader or the institution is left right here. Again, when market comes back here, their remaining quantity which was left will be executed, and market starts going up again in their favor. This is how banks and institutions use support, and this is the psychology why support works. In the similar way of a resistance, market traders generally, if they want to sell their stock or sell their currency pair, what they do is they execute sell side limit here, but they buy with huge quantity. So huge quantity at once cannot be executed that well. So what they do is they set that limit order to this line. So whenever market comes to this line, their quantity, like 10% of the quantity or 20% of the quantity is executed, and market goes back down. Again, when it comes here, again the remaining percent quantity is executed. Now this was the basic support and resistance, and traders generally make long side and short side entries using this kind of support and resistance. Now it is trend line support and resistance. What generally happens in trend line support and resistance is traders generally draw a trend line. Like if you see, this was the high, this was the high, this was the high, it was going up like this, making continuous highs, higher high. So they draw a line like this, which starts acting as a trend line. Now after two taps, you realize this trend line is acting as a support, but instead of rectangular and horizontal, it is an straightly going upward trend in a bullish trend, so it acts as a bullish zone. After two taps, when market returned here again, traders can put a long side entry, putting their stop loss here and take profit up here. I'll show you in TradingView also how this works exactly. And few people use EMAs as support and resistance. What is EMA? It's generally, the full form is exponential moving average. Like if you set EMA to 10, it gives you last 10 candles average price. A line starts appearing on your graph, like this green line, and it shows you, if you set EMA 10, it will show you last 10 candles average moving price. So few people use this EMA also as support and resistance. Now let me show you all the different types of support and resistance in TradingView, which is generally used by traders. The first support and resistance, the normal support and resistance, which it is this one. Now look at this zone. What happened here? The markets, they generally went up. It went up, it typed on the support region, and after it typed on the support region, it hit the zone, came back down. Again, second time it hit the zone and came back down. Again, at the third time at least, traders could have placed their positions. Like you see, they could have place their positions here, placing a small stop loss above the zone and a small take profit. Easily 1:1 to 1:2 traders get using these kind of strategies. So they can hit the TP easily using support and resistance normal basis one. And this was a resistance. Now let me draw like a small support region. Now this is a support region. You have seen markets have come down here and shown good move, again come down, again it has shown good move. So this is a support zone. Next time whenever the markets come here, you can just place your entry, putting your stop loss below the zone and easily aiming for 1:2 to 1:3 risk reward depending on your risk reward management plan. And third thing is a trend line. Now what trend line is? It is basically support resistance but in a different pattern. You see this? Markets, instead of moving sideways and creating a rectangular support like this, it is going continuously up, making a bullish trend with higher highs, going upwards. So this creates a good support region on this exact trend line. So what happens after one tap, it went up. Second tap also it went up. Third tap also it gave a strong bullish trend. So on the fourth tap, what traders can do is they could place their entries here, putting their stop loss either below the trend line or below the zone or below the previous flow sometimes, and easily aiming for 1:2 to 1:3 risk reward you can easily get. So that is how trend line traders trade. And here, as I showed you, this is a support trend line. You basically can get a resistance trend line as well. Like check this out. This is a resistance trend line. So what happens here is markets, whenever they tap onto this zone, it's going down, again it went down, again it went down. So traders, what they do on the next tap, like after one or two tap confirmation, they can put a small SL above the trend line, putting the risk reward downwards if you're in a sell side entry downwards. And that's how your positions are executed. And next comes as the EMA, the exponential moving average. Traders generally use 50 EMA. 50 EMA is used. Now I'll show you how this EMA works. EMA generally acts as a support itself and a resistance as well. Now you see here, market has tapped, blue line is the EMA. I set the EMA to 50. So this shows you the last 50 candles average price. When the market has tapped here, it had given a strong entry. It had made a strong upward trend. Again, when the second time also it has come here, it makes a strong upward trend. And in the third time, traders can generally confirm and put their long side positions, putting their stop loss below the EMA or below the previous low and easily aiming for 1:2 to 1:3 risk reward. This is what is EMA support and resistance. That's how traders trade this. And if you want, this was an example of support. In resistance ways, if you want to check it out, markets have, here is a good resistance example. You can see it tapped here, got down, again it tapped here, again it got down. So on the third tap, this acts as a resistance because markets are moving below the EMA, it starts acting as a resistance. On the next tap, you can easily put a short side entry with a small risk above the EMA, putting a take profit easily to 1:3 and getting your TP hit. That is how few traders use EMA also as their support and resistance. Few traders use Trendline as their support and resistance, and few traders generally use just a plain rectangle area as their support and resistance. Now, what happens if a support breaks or a resistance break? Let's imagine this is a support, this is a resistance. When price taps on the support, goes up again down, but this time it breaks the resistance. Now when a resistance is broken, it starts acting like a support region. So market taps back on this resistance. Once a resistance is broken, it becomes a support. And once a support is broken, it becomes a resistance. So it starts tapping on the resistance, which became a support now, and it starts going upwards. But in the same case, if you would have broken the support region, the support will become a resistance. Same thing, support becomes a resistance. The price breaks below the support low and the flips on the retest from below. it can act as a resistance. Sellers defend it. तो ये बहुत सिंपल सा है कि दो जोन बने हैं, अगर एक जोन टूट के ऊपर बनता है तो दैट जोन चेंजेस इट्स कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फ्रॉम रेजिस्टेंस टू सपोर्ट और सपोर्ट टू रेजिस्टेंस. That's how it works. And next we have where to place stop loss. As I already said once or twice, stop loss, first thing, traders in trading community there is a rule that we should not risk more than 2%. मतलब ट्रेडर्स करते क्या है कि एक ट्रेड में अपने पूरे कैपिटल का 1 से 2% ज़्यादा रिस्क करते ही नहीं है. And second types of traders, trendline traders, they put their stop loss below the trend line. Like you can look here, stop loss is put here and the trend line was like this. They put it below. And EMA traders place their stop loss just beyond the EMA. Let's imagine this was an EMA, 50 EMA. Their stop loss will be set here, just below the EMA. Now, what is a perfect entry? Perfect entry and exit हम बनाते कैसे हैं ये प्लान? तो पहले सिंपल सा प्रोसेस है, आइडेंटिफाई योर सपोर्ट एंड रेजिस्टेंस. अपना सपोर्ट और रेजिस्टेंस जोन को मार्क कर लो आराम से. सेकंड, वेट फॉर कंफर्मेशन. तुम लोग को कंफर्मेशन के लिए वेट करना है. और अगर तुम लोग जानते नहीं हो कि कंफर्मेशन क्या होता है, कंफर्मेशन कैंडल्स क्या है, मैं पहले ही एक वीडियो अपलोड कर चुका हूँ इस पर. यू कैन गो चेक दैट वीडियो आउट, लिंक डिस्क्रिप्शन में डाल दूंगा. एंड उसके बाद उसके हिसाब से, अपने सपोर्ट एंड रेजिस्टेंस के हिसाब से, वेयर टू प्लेस योर एंट्री एंड एसएल. एंड थर्ड, अपने एंट्री एसएल के हिसाब से टेक प्रॉफिट तुम कितना रखना चाहते हो, 1:2 रखना चाहते हो या 1:3 रखना चाहते हो, दैट इज योर चॉइस. तो सिंपल स्ट्रैटेजी, दिस इज सिंपल बट इफेक्टिव स्ट्रैटेजी. फर्स्ट थिंग, मार्क आउट योर लेवल्स, wait for confirmation candle or confirmation setup. Next, watch, set up your risk 1 to 2% per trade, or put your stop loss, and depending on that, 1:2 risk reward or 1:3. And next, just enter it and calculate your win rate, and you can start trading this on a simple basis. And I've showed you how this works on TradingView as well. I applied the indicator and showed you, I showed you Trendline, I showed you normal resistance. So this was a very important strategy. So yeah, if you enjoyed this kind of content, make sure to subscribe and let me know if you want any more sorts of videos regarding this content.